If you're sick of riding the bench and wanting to be a floor general your coach actually trusts, you need to master this ball handling concept. Because right now, sloppy handles, bad reads, and lack of control, that's what's keeping you off the court. I took a deep dive into Jason Preston's recent video and put my own twist on it. And what I'm about to break down will help you tighten your handles, make smarter reads, and become the point guard that gets real minutes. So we started with these cuff ball handling drills. Super simple, but the caveat to this is trying to control the ball as slow as possible, really trying to delay the dribble, and when you pound, that should be a quick dribble to get the dribble back into your hands for it. Next, we went into these pocket dribbles, which is super important, really learning how to manipulate the ball for as long as possible in your hands. You're really trying to pull the ball as far back as possible because the longer that the ball is in your hands, the more time you can react to the defense, and if they do decide to reach or not allow you to blow by them, you can counter them with a behind the back or another move to blow by them. Then we progress that to adding a between the leg dribble after the pocket dribble. As you can see on the tween, is not just a normal tween, but I'm actually pulling the ball as far back as possible into the pocket first before doing the tween. Making the tween as low as possible so that we can counter the defender. The only time that the ball is most vulnerable is when the ball is out of your hands. So if we can reduce the time that is out of your hands, the more control you should have over the ball. And the same thing should be applied with the behind the back, and now really trying to drag into the pocket dribble first, almost delaying for a little bit before hitting the behind the back dribble. Same exact concept. And ball handling is not just about ball control, but adding movements whilst you control the ball, teaching yourself how to dissociate whilst dribbling and pounding the ball. So here we are working on the cuff dribble, but now adding steps with it to challenge the coordination component. The best ball handlers are the best movers, as simple as that. Not the flashy moves, but the ability to get into whatever position they can imagine without restriction. And after that, we're applying the same concept once again, and now doing with an overstructure, but with the same leg, real quad and glute burner, but also challenges coordination. Your warm-up should be hard, and you'll be losing the ball or not being able to comprehend something and trying to figure it out. Don't waste those 10 to 15 minutes and use that time to challenge yourself with something unfamiliar. It'll accumulate as months go on, and it'll slowly make you into a better hooper. And next here is a really simple pound tween dribble. You see me in the white shirt, keep losing the ball, and that's exactly why I'm in the lab. Not just working on being perfect in training, but challenging myself to be pounding the ball as hard and fast as possible. So that in game time, it will become much easier with it without me thinking too much and being conscious of it. Now we integrate the pocket dribble, but what I'm explaining to my client here is that it's not just doing it in and out with it, the same exact component with the pocket dribble, pulling yourself back, allowing the ball to get into the pocket as long as possible, and doing a few shuffle steps in between on the toes so that if the defender reaches, you can react to it. I'm still working on these, but you can tell the frequency of my leg hitting the floor is much faster compared to my client. And next we're working on the float dribble, letting the ball float as long as possible in the air and going for as much distance as possible. Really just freestyling and letting your creativity flow. Then straight back into the retreat pocket dribble, but now after that, we were countering with 2 quick dribbles of his own choice for the blow by. It's pretty tough when you're really trying to push yourself, not only the speed, but also the footwork. And you can tell my client Grill wants to split his feet a lot, but I'm really wanting him to anchor instead on the blow by with a counter so that he can't telegraph what he's doing next towards the defender. Then we worked on these stagger stance in and out shuffles, got this from Jason's trainer as well, and he's brilliant with his ball handling technique. Not only do you need to work on the ability to manipulate the ball well in your hands, but also the timing shuffle of the feet, going laterally and staying on the toes so you can read the defender and blow by at any time. I used this a few times in one-on-one and it worked like a charm. You can tell Grill is much more comfortable with his right hand compared to his left. And here we're just working on different timings of the split stance in and out dribble. So sometimes it can be slow, sometimes it can be fast. I just want to change it up and let him try out the different timings for it. Listen up. This is a point guard essential to have, especially when you're dribbling the ball up full court. And we worked on these contact hips whilst performing a pocket dribble. And this is super important when you're against a great defender who gives loads of pressure. Being able to create space not only with contact but also dragging the ball into the pocket dribble will be the key to allow you to survey the court, but also making sure the ball is safely in your hands for as long as possible. One thing to make sure is that you don't want to be perpendicular to the chest of the defender. There's a small little tip, as this can expose the ball for a back tap steal. And so instead, you should be thinking about your inner shoulder towards the defender when dribbling for it. The timing of the bump plus the pocket dribble is hard to understand initially, so Grill is trying to figure it out, and it might take more than one session to do so if you're not familiar with playing enough through contact. And just adding a bit of progression to that is with a between the leg dribble, as usually up the floor, between the leg dribbles are a very, very safe option instead of crossovers in front of a pesky defender, as I have some experience guarding full court, and usually I am looking for those timings to steal the ball. It's hard to get the timing down, as you see Grill struggling with it, as he doesn't play too much 5v5 and wanting to get into playing more of those. So hopefully this video was very helpful for you guys. If you find it helpful, please drop a like, comment, and let me know what you guys want next. And if you guys are really wanting more help and more support, check out the group description below for my games chamber community, absolutely for free, and I'll see you on the inside.